Hey everyone, Ryan De La Garza here, and we're doing a Desmos activity builder breakdown. So I'm going to look at this activity that I submitted for the first 2020 Match My CL, where it was used one sync and one sync only to create a improved version of an AB. So here I have a coordinate plane and I have an ordered pair on there, and we want to know what's the x coordinate. So if you notice as I come in here, if I were a student and say the common mistake, right, I flipped my x and y values, I would get immediate feedback, so I could come in here and fix it. So what does it look like to build this? Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to create a second one, and I'll walk you through the process. So we're going to start with our graph element, and I'm going to put an ordered pair on there. So I'm going to go over in quadrant 2, and I'm going to say like -2, 3. And I want to flip those. I don't want it to be -2, 2, just in case students, I don't want them to get it wrong and think that they got it right because the points are the same, right? I'm also going to make this black because I'm going to have a highlighter in there that's going to be colored, so that black point will really stand out well. So now we can start with the building of the highlighter. So I'm going to create a variable u. I like to do things that kind of will help me make sense of it. So the reason I chose u is because that's going to be the user's input. And I'm just going to start with it equaling 1. So I have my slider and I can start off. Now to make the highlighter is built around an inequality, so I need a low end and a high end. So for my low end, I'm going to put u1, and that's going to equal u minus 0.5, and then my high end will be u2, and that's going to be u plus 0.5. So that's going to give me my lower bound and my higher bound. So I'm taking this first one here, my main point u, and I'm creating a little bit below, a little bit above, and that's going to be my highlighter. So to do that, I need my inequality statement. So u1 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to u2. I don't want it to be black. It's not a very good highlighter. I want it to be orange. So if you look at this now, as I slide around u, which is what we're basing everything off, my highlighter moves. It's a little bit big though, so I'm going to go actually change this to 0.25. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Okay, so now I have my highlighter. Okay, so now let's add in how are the students going to actually put in the x value. We need to submit that. I like using tables. I think you use a table or an input. The input you could get, the nice part about doing an input is you would be able to get some explanations behind why they chose what they did. But for something like this, I'm just keeping it simple, and we're going to do it like this. I'll use a table. Okay, so if I come in and now we preview, if I go in to put in my x coordinate of -2, nothing's happening. That's because I haven't put in, as Mr. J. Chow would say, the Desmos magic. That is in our computation layer. So I'm going to come in here to my graph. Before I do this, got to name our elements. Anytime we want to use computation layer, we have to have things named on the outside. I like to do table, graph, what it is in lowercase. You can do lowercase or uppercase, but whatever you do, you have to stick with it. I like doing 2s because I'm on slide 2, so I have 2s to match. So now let's go in here. The one sync we are going to use is the number sync. So I'm going to create a number named u. That was the point in our graph that we already made. And I'm going to do that by looking at table 2, and I'm going to take the cell numeric value of the first row, first column. So I'm creating a number u by looking at table 2 and taking the numeric value of whatever is in the first row and first column of that table. So now if I come out and I preview it, if I come in here and I put my -2, bam, I have my highlighter and we're good to go. The last piece is throwing on some instructions, telling students what you want them to do. So I'm just going to steal them from my first slide, right? Because we're practicing with multiple points. Add my note, and then I like to do a little space underneath it, just so you have a little bit of room, right? And here we go, our final product. That's it. All right, hope y'all enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy Desmosing.